I'm gonna guess that at least half of everybody watching this video hasn't kept up with me and hasn't seen the original Pain in the Kieninger video I put out a couple of months ago, so I'll give you a recap. This is a late 70s Colonial 4196 Mary Lane grandfather clock that I picked up for free on Marketplace in the springtime. It had a Kieninger 78K movement that ran for a couple of hours and then stopped and never started back up again. I couldn't get it running for any more than a few minutes. I couldn't chime without me sticking my hands in the case and actually making the gears turn manually. So what I initially did to solve that was I bought a Kieninger 79K from an older clock repair guy. His name is, and I'll give him a shout out on here because the movement I got, while it was physically incompatible with this case, which is why I returned it, it ran very smoothly, almost too smoothly. So I want to believe that Mr. Edward Labonte is a fantastic guy. You can write to him on his eBay page. I think it's called Herman Jewelers 1868. And for about $500, you can get your Hermele, Kieninger, Urgos, or Jausch grandfather movement fully rebuilt, overhauled, they call it. You ship it carefully, he'll fix it in about a week's time and then ship it back to you, which is what he has done for me. He packed the hell out of this stuff. Peanuts, bubble wrap, paper, everything. So I'm going to dig the movement out. There it is. I'm going to have to spill the peanuts on the floor. Here we go. I should be doing this with both of my hands, but this whole thing is just going to come right out. Well, this pupper is certainly packed. It is packed. So packed, in fact, I had to turn off the camera to figure it out rather than keeping it rolling and making an absolute fool of myself like I did in the original Pain in the Kieninger video. But take a look at that cheese block, the Kieninger 78K in all its glory. I see plenty of freshly oiled bushings on there. Fresh bushings. There's probably more on the back. Let's check it out. Yep, that is bushings galore. And he marked them all with a Sharpie. My camera is not one in the focus. There's a bunch of them. He did lots of work on this pupper. Just realized he marked the front too, so he kind of pointed out, yeah, I put a bushing here, I put a bushing there. But let's go ahead and install this in the case and see how well he did. I kept all the tiny little things in here, so I need these puppers. These mount underneath the movement. What's great about the 78K is, unlike the 79K, the 78K does not have a bunch of physically incompatible differences from the 78K. So the 78K goes right in place of the 78K with no problems. So there's these puppers under here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this off camera because I need both hands to do that. Now that I've done that, let's grab these pullers and run them through. Because the next step, just throw that in there, there's a hook in there, is to attach the weights. And try not to get my foot in the frame. Actually, no, I did something wrong. I neglected to, foolishly, I forgot to put the pendulum leader on before I put the movement in the case. So now it's going to be a pain in the ass to do it. And I might have to turn the camera off to get this right. Or no, that's obstructing me down there. You bitch. Get in there. There you go. Now I gotta, where does this go? Well, okay, well now I can't see anything. I think that goes in. See, I'm feeling it, but I can't see it because my camera's being a shithead and it won't focus. Get in there. Get in there. There we go. Now, what I was going to say is I'm going to hook up the pendulum before I hook up the weights. So I turned the camera off to put these weights on as not to promptly embarrass myself because I'm real skinny. I'm a skinny little man. And by God, these puppers are heavy. I recorded this footage and I'm going to forward it to Ed. Because he told me he didn't want me cutting down the weight fillers. And there's no extra stuff in there. It's just the lead fillers. They are that heavy. They were that heavy from the factory back in '79. And I was going to show him. And I'm pretty sure the chime and strike trains on this clock are going to run comically fast because of how heavy the weights are. But in the meantime, let's just see if the puppet ticks. Damn, dude. It's already in beat 2. Let's get a hand and make it chime. Okay, that surprised me. That ran at a pretty normal speed. I don't know if some of these hammers are bumping into each other when it's chiming because I'm hearing clicking noises. Let's see. I guess that one's the culprit. Let's just move that one back a little bit. No, too far. No, get back. Hey, too close again. Okay, back to business. Okay, now for the grand reveal. See how it strikes. What the hell was that? Why didn't it go? Well, I watched it. Okay, I concede. I was wrong and Ed was right. The weights are actually supposed to be that heavy on this movement. Now, I'd probably get some oil and probably oil the whatever bushings run the chime train a little more because they're a little slow but pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and put the dial back on, which was physically impossible to do while holding the camera, so I put the camera down as not to make a fool of myself while figuring this pupper out. Along with that, I've been constantly finicking with the beat because I keep having to fine adjust it by ear, and I'll probably do it with an app I've got on my phone off camera. But for now, I've also been turning that bushing in the hand. I'm pretty sure I have it dialed in now. Let's find out. Excuse my hungry belly. Oh, not quite. Well, I'm trying to give it some grace for being sluggish on the 8-note chimes because I have another grandfather clock that's now in the dining room downstairs, a Ridgeway with an Urgos movement, which is also being rebuilt, but by somebody else, a guy called Sam's Clocks on YouTube. Great man. He's working on my Urgos. I remember when I first picked it up in February, it was sluggish on St. Michael in Whittington. But then as I let it run, it started to come back up to speed, so I'm going to let it do that. I'm going to make a few more adjustments to the minute hand, and I'm going to let it chime one more time for you before I put the camera away, because quite frankly, my phone's dying.